with the camera. I didn't realize I was rotated 90 degrees the whole time, so thought I'd start a new live and delete the other one because it was complaining at me, and when I looked at the video it wasn't very good to watch. So here's an update. Head is on, head is torqued. I didn't get any video today because the weather wasn't very good, and when the weather's not very good it's kind of hard to set up your camera and video what's going on. We worked in between rainstorms today. Wasn't great, but got some work done. Don't know if anybody's actually going to be watching this tonight, but I just thought I'd go live for a minute. I haven't done a live in a while, and I think what I'm planning to do is tomorrow I'm going to set up my camera on the tripod when we're getting ready to fire it up, and hopefully the weather's good. Actually, you can hear it's raining right now. You can hear the rain in the background coming off my tarp. So I got a tarp set up over the rear deck lid here, keeping me mostly dry. And yeah, so if the weather cooperates tomorrow, once it's ready to fire up, I don't know what time it'll be. It'll probably be, I'm guessing later in the day, probably 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I want to set up the camera and do a live for the first fire up of Gus, so that'll be interesting. You guys can watch it in live real time as I get to do it. So yeah, so there's more to do. I got to do the fuel jumper still. I got to do the set the valves. So this one's up right now. We could set this one if we wanted to. I got my feeler gauges here ready to set my valves. These are just standard long feeler gauges. I use them for just about everything. Got to put the rack back on. Got to set the rack. Lots of little things to do still. I got to put the exhaust manifold back on. I got to put the water manifold back on. Oh, I don't know what it's doing. Keeps telling me to rotate my phone, which is weird. I guess it must have rotated at some point. Let me see if I've got any comments. My camera is sideways. Okay. How's that? Is that better? Hey, Paul. Hey, Jeremy. Is my camera straight now? I don't know. I started the live stream with it turned, so it should have been the other way, but for some reason it was telling me to turn it. Yeah, here we are in the rain. Let me see if I can flip my camera around. Oh, no. There we go. So you can see what I've got to work with in the dark here. I got a tarp over the one side. Got a good work light. Got my little pen mag light. That's been a godsend tonight. But as I said, we're trucking along slowly. I discovered this throttle linkage here is it was seized. I got it mostly freed up now. So that will probably help quite a bit because this pivot point here was completely seized. I don't know how it was actually working the throttle. So you always find extra stuff when you take your engine apart. So we still got to put the governor on. The top half of the governor is off there. I don't know if you can see it in the dark. But oh, look at that. I haven't taken my engine chain off. I literally just torqued the head half an hour ago and then decided to take a break. So I got to put these bolts back in here. I got to put these cover bolts back in at each end. Lots of little stuff. Are we in vertical mode now? Are we the right way around? I don't know what this camera's doing. I started it the other way around, and I don't know why. I don't know how to make it switch. No, it says orientation is locked. Please rotate device. Hear the rain? Oh, you can't see the rain. You can hear the rain probably. But I feel so much better getting this head back on. This has been a huge project. It's just been absolutely monumental. Oh, this is I don't know, you can't really see it, but I've got my access panel open here. So the access panel, actually you can see where my firewall's cracked a little bit. I got to do a repair here. But the access panel runs from here all the way across to here. And it's about, I don't know, it's about 6 inches wide, which gives you access to get to all of these nuts from the back for the manifold, which is really convenient. Without that access panel, it would have been a lot harder. I can reach through there and do all the stuff from the back side of the engine. So another project I got to do, but it's not going to happen this weekend, is I got to pull that blower. It's been leaking from this clamp for a long time. It's been leaking since I got the bus, and actually you can see it's actually starting to spit the gasket out. So that's another project for another day. That's a two-person job. I did a blower on Sage's Texas bus, and it's heavy. It's 2 people to pick that up, and it's a little finicky. So I think we'll just skip that for now. We'll get Bus back together, and Gus, I should say, not Bus. We'll get Gus back together. We'll get him in the barn, and then maybe we'll tackle that blower another day when he's put away for the winter and it can sit for a while. So started hooking stuff up, got my fuel lines hooked up. I'm gonna have to bleed the fuel system, so I don't have a primer pump or anything like that. I don't want to crank it over forever, so I'll probably pull the main pump and stick a drill on it, and that way I can get fresh fuel all up into the head, because the head's completely drained right now. All of the fuel injectors have been off. It's been standing on its end for a while. It all drained out in the shop. Oh, I do have good news. For those who know, I had that broken bridge, which is what started this whole process. So this bridge, I really need a better light. Where's my pen light? That bridge was broken, and I ended up taking it to a machine shop and getting them to burn it out with an EDM. Oh, how did I do that? So that's all back together, a nice fresh bridge in there. And when they burned it out with the EDM, one of the pieces dropped into the head, and I didn't think I was going to be able to find it. I did all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, there's a hair there. I actually took and glued a rare earth magnet to the end of a zip tie and fished around through the hole for a while. Says we're portrait mode, or I don't know why it wants me to go this way for some reason. Hopefully it's right side up for you guys. And anyway, I couldn't find it. I fished for that piece that fell through when they burned through with the EDM. I fished for it for, I don't know, probably an hour. I rotated the head around, couldn't get it. I gave up. Just before I was going to take the head stands off, the fixtures off the end of the head, I stood it up, and I could hear it go tink, clunk, all the way down to the bottom end of the head. So you can't see it now, but there's plugs in the end of the head under the cover there, and I had the plugs out, and when I stood the head up, it was sitting right at the end of the head, so I was able to get the piece out of the head. So there's no debris in the head. It's all cleaned out nicely, which is awesome. I was worried about that piece getting circulated around and going through the water pump or something. It keeps zooming in. I think the rain is wreaking havoc with my touchscreen on the phone, because yeah, see, it's jumping around. But I'll just step back for a sec so you can get a good look. We got to put the air filters back on. I had to take the coolant reservoir off to get enough clearance for the mag base drill. So those of you who have been following know that I had a problem with the head bolt hole in the block on this this end bolt. It had been helicoiled, and they didn't do a good job, and they didn't drill it deep enough. It was only drilled about an inch deep, and they didn't clear the threads all the way to the bottom. So when they put the helicoil in, they put a standard helicoil in, which is about 0.9 of an inch, and that's all that was holding the head in. So I got a mag base drill. I lined it up. I drilled the hole the full 2 inches all the way to the bottom. I tapped it with a new helicoil kit, so it's tapped full depth now. I special ordered, and I got an 1.5 inch long helicoil, so it has full thread. It took full torque. I've got no concerns about that helicoil whatsoever now. But the problem is they didn't clear the threads in the bottom, and the head bolt galled up and damaged the threads on the bolt. So when it backed out, it ripped the helicoil out, and it was jamming the head up to get it to come out, because I had to force the galled threads through the helicoil, and that was a big nightmare to get that apart. But anybody got any questions? I can actually read my phone now. Good to see you, Gus. Yeah, so I guess I got 9 people on now. I'm sure some people will watch this later. For those that didn't hear me say it earlier, I'm planning to do a live stream tomorrow if I get the bus to a point where I can try and fire it up. So what I want to do is I want to get everything set up, get the fuel primed, and then I'll set up a camera if the weather agrees, and if I can get it done between rain showers, and hopefully you guys can enjoy the first fire up of the rebuild at the same time I get to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to this. It's been a lot of work. I've probably got 40 hours into this, if you can believe it, and it's my first time rebuilding a 671. I've learned a lot through other people, learned a lot through talking to other bus nuts and Detroit guys, and it's been educational. It's been trying, but it's also been fun. So I think I'm going to sign off now. So time to get back to work and get these valves set up. So, all right. Talk to you guys later. My phone's wet. I can't even end the live stream because my phone, the touch screen's not working. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, have a good night. Oh, geez. I don't know how I'm going to end this. That's kind of funny. I'm going to have to dry my phone off.